Welcome to Module 13 that covers the special CACFP provisions for emergency shelters. Because of the population served, emergency shelters have fewer requirements and higher benefits than other CACFP programs. The information can be found in Appendix A of the CACFP Administrative Manual. Emergency shelters must document that state or local health and safety standards have been met, including facility capacity. This is usually a current fire inspection and food license or inspection. Emergency shelters must also document that participants claimed for CACFP reimbursement are residents of the shelter. The manual includes a summary of monthly residence form for children ages 0 to 18 and disabled adults. Maintain a list of eligible participants including name, age or date of birth, and period of residency. Each month, record the eligible participants who reside at the center. At the bottom, record the total CACFP residents for each month. Keep a separate list for each CACFP shelter. A record of daily attendance is also required. Use the meal participation and attendance form for this purpose. The form is also used to document meal participation. If a parent is under age 19 or disabled, meals served to that person are eligible and may be claimed for reimbursement. Meals served to staff may not be claimed. The sample shows how to complete the meal participation and attendance form. The required information includes first and last name, age, an X on the day of and meals marked for participation, and a backslash if the resident attended but did not eat. At the bottom, tally the total number of eligible participant meals for each meal and day, as well as total attendance. You will report this on the monthly CACFP claim for reimbursement. Also keep daily meal count records for all meals served to all other persons residing at the shelter. Keep this record separate from meals recorded for CACFP eligible participants. These meals cannot be claimed for reimbursement, but are needed to determine the percentage of CACFP meals the shelter serves. It is required to document the disability for each adult who will be claimed. Use the documentation of disability form in the manual and update it each fiscal year. A separate form is required for each shelter location. The resident's first and last name, birth date or age, brief description of the disability, and first date of residence are recorded. Documentation from a medical professional is not required. Use the definition of disability from the Diet Modification Request form as a guide for identifying adults with disabilities. On the monthly CACFP site claim report, enter the number of days meals were served during the month for total days of operation. Add together each day's attendance to report total attendance for the month, and enter the total number of each meal type served. Emergency shelters must keep daily dated menus to demonstrate compliance with the CACFP meal pattern. Children 1 through 18 should follow the child meal pattern. Adults with disabilities should be served meals that follow the adult meal pattern provided in Appendix G, and infants should be served meals that comply with the infant meal pattern in Appendix C. Create separate menus for children ages 1 through 18, disabled adults, and infants. Refer to Chapter 2 for sample menu forms for children and adults. Appendix C includes menu forms for infants. Shelter staff must supervise mealtime to ensure meals comply with CACFP meal pattern and quantity requirements. Participants may prepare their own meals with training and supervision. Meals must be consumed in a congregate setting. Emergency shelters must maintain financial records to document nonprofit status of the food service operation and show all CACFP reimbursement has been spent on allowable costs. To prorate costs, use the meal participation and attendance form. Divide the total eligible meals by the total meals served to all residents each month. This will determine the percent of eligible participant meals used to prorate CACFP costs that may be reported each month. All CACFP food costs must be reported each month. Document food expenses with receipts and invoices. Prorate total food costs based on the percentage of meals served to eligible participants. Document donated food that will be used in CACFP meals on the form provided in Chapter 5. The shelter must report enough costs to show it has spent all CACFP reimbursement on allowable costs by the end of the fiscal year. Remember, CACFP funds are to be used only to operate or improve the CACFP food service operation, principally for the benefit of CACFP participants. Document the following as needed to show all reimbursement has been spent. 1. Prorated non-food CACFP food service costs. 2. The cost of food service labor and benefits. Use the labor log in Chapter 5 to track food service hours if staff work less than full-time in food service. 3. Administrative labor and benefits. Use the labor log in Chapter 5 to document actual hours spent on CACFP paperwork and other administrative tasks. 4. The percentage of total facility space used exclusively for food service. Prorate the rent or mortgage costs based on the percent of space used, and further based on the percentage of meals served to CACFP participants. Keep documentation on file for the percentage of total facility space used by food service and the amount of rent or mortgage paid per month. See the online budget to identify additional costs that can be reported if needed. All costs that are reported must first be approved in the budget. There are several distinctions between CACFP requirements for emergency shelters and child care centers. Children ages 0 through 18 years of age may be claimed. Emergency shelters have the option to claim 3 full meals, including breakfast, lunch, and supper, and all meals are claimed at the free rate of reimbursement. In contrast to most CACFP programs, the following records are not required for emergency shelters. 1. Enrollment forms. 2. Free and reduced price applications. 3. A child care license. 4. A media release. And 5. Food production records. This concludes the lesson on Module 13, Emergency Shelters. If you have questions, please contact your CACFP consultant or the state agency. Contact information can be found in the front of the manual.